Hello from TIAA Bank Field. Times Union reporters Phillip, Heilman, and Reid here tonight prior to the Jaguars scrimmage inside the stadium. We've seen them on the practice field. We haven't really seen them at the indoor facility in a while, and we haven't seen them at all inside the stadium. So before we get to any observations tonight, John, just what are you looking for tonight in Friday's, quasi-scrimmage that'll probably look like a practice?
Well, you have to look at Jalen Ramsey. I mean, the guy, it's just amazing to me that the minimum amount of practice, you look at the rest of the team and they had to go, through 2 days in the shorts to get condition-wise, to get in pads. And he get thrusted out there and he looked like he's been there for not just the training camp portion, but look like he's been there OTA. Don't look like he missed a beat to me, but that's, those are the things you look for. Is can the defense, if they're having a scrimmage, can they force turnovers? And can you see the aggressiveness like you see on the one-on-one matchups with the defensive line against the offensive line? Is there a carryover it'll be sort of like a game atmosphere? And obviously, you always want, everybody looking at Blake Bortles, he's been very consistent, and even if he had some bad stretches, they haven't been extended bad stretches. So you want to see that. Kind of want to see Leonard Fournette, does he have that burst to get around the corner, which from what we see, it looks like
Seems like he does so far. Yeah, down 10, 12, 15 pounds. It sounds like he definitely has had a lot of good bursts so far.
Oh, yeah.
Let me ask you this. Aside from the second and third teams with, Tanner Lee's thrown quite a few interceptions, Cody Kessler really hasn't. Aside from one day, Blake Bortles had the 2 interceptions that A.J. Bouye picked off. He hasn't thrown a lot this training camp. Is that a good sign for the offense that Blake's, sort of been able to avoid those really low lows like you talked about? Or is it a sign that, the defense needs to sort of get revved up and start making more plays?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. I think that obviously confidence-wise, you can see that Blake Bortles is not the same quarterback he was this time last year.
Right.
And I think he has better touch on his throws and the timing. You can tell, like even from OTAs, even when you look at a Dante Moncrief, even though he's been hurt, it just seems to me that the timing, when Keelan Cole knows when he breaks, that ball is there. Some of those things, you didn't really see a lot of that last year. Last year, you saw a lot of overthrows. He threw high, and guys would be in position looking for that ball to come, and it would be later behind them. So I think it has a lot to do with confidence. But defensively, I think when you bring back Jalen Ramsey, I think you could see, it's going to pick up a lot more by next week, that intensity. And those guys are kind of getting back in that gelling form, of knowing where to be at to play on the ball.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a lot tougher for the offense when these guys really get. I don't think they're in gear yet. I think they're getting there, but they're not in gear yet. And I think once that pressure comes and he's flushed out the pocket more and be under a little bit more pressure situation, then I think that's when you kind of gouge where the offense and where Blake Bortles is at.
And particularly with the defense, it seems like the Jaguars coaching staff has made it a point of emphasis to rotate guys quite a bit. You haven't seen much of Calais Campbell during the 11-on-11 work. There's been a lot of Lorente McCray, a guy who played mostly special teams last year, even at the linebacker spot in the secondary. They've rotated in a pretty good amount, so I think you're right. Once you're sort of going good on good day after day, you're going to start to see more of those turnovers. Let's get into a real rapid-fire situation real quick. I'll give you a name. You tell me in 20 seconds or less what you thought of them so far.
All right.
DJ Chark.
Excellent, great speed, not intimidated, like competition, big-time talent. I think he's going to meet that great. He got expectations. I think he looked like he might meet them.
DJ Hayden.
He's one of the guys that I want to see more of. I've seen him at times. He was in position to make plays. He's definitely not, Colvin, but I think he's kind of feeling his way around. And like I said earlier, he's one of those guys that's got to get adjusted to the way those cornerbacks play in church. And I think he's in that adjustment mode right now.
The guy who missed practice Wednesday was back Thursday, Leon Jacobs.
Surprised, but I tell you what, he's got the physical tools to be a tremendous linebacker. He's very instinctive.
Yep.
And he gets to the ball, very quick. And for a player to come in here that, didn't know this system it sure looks like he fits this system, and it sure looks like he's comfortable with it.
Yeah, 7th round pick. You don't typically see teams that, you know, this is going to be a good team, you would think. It's a playoff team from last year. You don't see a lot of 7th round picks coming in and vying for starting roles right away. Last one, Josh Lambo.
Josh Lambo, I say Mr. Consistency. You know, one thing about Josh, and I say this, boy, he reads the Twitters a lot.
At least your Twitter, he reads a lot.
But you have to commend the guy for being consistent. I mean, we done watched him, I think, for the last 3 practices. It's straight down the middle. I mean, you push him back, it's straight down the middle, no matter what the distance is. And he's confident, obviously, but, man, I mean, it's for preseason, even the opening day of practices, this guy was, I think his first day he made like 8 of 8, and I don't think he's missed no more than like 3. And
2 or 3 maybe.
This is like practice, so if he can transfer it on the field, you know, even for the preseason and show that kind of consistency, I think the kicking game is in good hands with a guy like Josh Lambo.
Yeah, the Jaguars signed so many free agents last year, whether it be Calais Campbell, A.J. Bouye, Barry Church, guys who really all sort of panned out, that Josh Lambo went under the radar a little bit. Early in the season, Jason Myers had a lot of struggles, and you see it so many times with teams. Once you have one bad kicker, it's so hard to get back on track with your kicking game. During the season, you bring somebody in for a tryout, he lasts, you know, maybe 2 or 3 games, and then he doesn't work out. And then you're on the hamster wheel. You can't get it figured out. But the Jaguars didn't have that problem. Josh Lambo came in. He was good during the playoffs. Obviously, he has sort of the clutch gene. And he's been good during the preseason. So special teams, I think, have looked pretty good. The offense under Blake Bortles, definitely going in the right direction. And the defense we'll see more of. So scrimmage tonight, Friday night, in TIAA Bank Field. The Jaguars are off on Saturday. They'll be back on the field Sunday. So look for everything we have on Jacksonville.com and the Florida Times Union. For Phillip Heilman, this is Reid. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.